Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Silly Point, or maybe the first episode of the Z and G show. So today we're going to discuss real cricket. Finally, cricket is back. As you all know, the first test between England and the West Indies starts on Wednesday, the 8th of July. So finally, we're going to move on from fantasy 11s and top five players and actually to go on to discuss real
Something
cricket.
real. Yeah.
But obviously, Gaurav here with me. So we're going to have a quick chat about the upcoming match, the predicted 11s for each team, what the key points are to consider, and obviously what, with all the new COVID rules coming in, with no shining the ball and things like that. So how does that tilt the balance in any team's favor?
Maybe if we talk about England first and what kind of team they might put out in the first test. Obviously Joe Root is not going to be playing
Yes.
the first game because he's out on paternity leave, which means Ben Stokes will be leading the team for the first time. I expect him to do even better than he's done in the past when he's captain. That's what I feel. He's that kind of character. I mean, if we think about the openers, I think Rory Burns and Dom Sibley are pretty much.
Yeah, I think as a starting point, I mean, the key thing I think to consider is you don't have any benchmark to compare it to, right? Because
Of course.
you don't have even, let alone a test series, but not even a first class season to compare it with.
True.
So the only benchmark you have is probably the most recent test match England played. I think it was in South Africa, which is
Certainly
5 months ago now.
Yeah.
And
they
then
did go on tour to Sri Lanka.
yeah,
And
they
when
played
they
a
were
first
playing
class
a
match there.
practice,
Yeah,
yes.
and then obviously there's this inter-team game which it was Butler versus Stokes, and then in the West Indies they had Holder versus Brathwaite. So really, you have this friendly inter-team game, which is the only real benchmark, to be honest. And I'm not sure how serious it's you can how seriously you can take that.
I mean, it's good. It's good to have these inter-squad games, but I think they're a little useless in my opinion. I mean, it's good to gauge, whether someone like Anderson can bowl. He's up to bowling 20 overs in a test match or not. I think that's those games are good to gauge that. But I think in terms of selecting a team, I think they're going to look more towards what was the last test team we had, and a few changes here and there, obviously for for form. Moeen Ali, for example, coming back into England after taking a bit of a break.
Maybe. No,
but yeah, I mean, I think Dom Sibley and Rory Burns. Obviously, Rory Burns coming back from injury means that he'll open with Dom Sibley. I think that's pretty much set in stone.
No place for James Bracey. He played pretty well in the. He played pretty well in the. I think he's the only opener who got a 50+ score in the practice match.
Oh, no? I know. I mean, that's obviously soon. It's too soon. I mean, James Bracey. Actually, again, my dad's seen James Bracey from close quarters because there was a recent spin camp in Mumbai where he was he was the manager of the English players. So James Bracey had gone to India to learn how to play spin, and he definitely said that this guy is someone to watch out for. And Amar Virdi as well, who was in the squad, but he didn't play this intra game, this intra squad game for some reason. Him and I think it was Jamie Overton, both of them didn't play, which was weird. But anyways, I think James Bracey is one to watch out for in the future. He's a wicket keeper as well, so I think those two are pretty much. I think
let's focus on maybe just quickly get the 4 or 5 confirmed starters. So Burns, Sibley, I think 3-4 will come back to.
Yes. Stokes
might be easier without Root playing, but let's come back to it. I think 5 and 6 Stokes and
Pope. Yeah.
10 and 11 Broad and Anderson.
7 Butler and 10-11 Broad.
Well, let's come back to 7. I think.
Well, again, even I think so. So my opinion is that in the first Test match, Dono, West Indies or England they should go in with 5 bowlers.
Yeah.
I feel because it's the first game that they're playing of this intensity in a long time. Yeah. So I think both of them should be playing 5 bowlers. And I'm not counting Stokes as the 5th bowler, given that he'll be captain as well. And I think, him being an all-rounder and a captain makes it difficult. He can bowl a few overs here and there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'll leave number 3 out because I'm not sure yet, but my opinion is Stokes should bat at 4.
Okay, wow,
Stokes should bat at 4. And then at 5, you've got Pope. And at 6, you've got Butler. That would be my middle order.
Yeah.
And then maybe an opportunity for someone like Moeen Ali to bat at 7.
Yeah.
Followed by Jack Leach. I know Dom Bess was actually the spinner who played last, and he also bowled pretty well. But I think the combination of Moeen and Leach might work better.
Yeah, I mean,
What are your thoughts on the middle order?
I think England they always tend to be very safe with their batting. I think especially with Root out, they will probably need to beef up that middle order. And there's always a toss up for number 3 between Denley and Crawley.
Yeah.
I think they will both play at 3 and 4. With Stokes at 5, Pope at 6. And Butler, I would go with Butler at 7. Although, if you would ask me personally, I would probably go with Woakes because Butler has just been too inconsistent. But the fact that they named a team on Butler, so it was Team Butler versus Team Stokes, so I think that just shows that
he is the vice captain now.
Exactly,
He's the vice captain now since Stokes has been elevated to captain. Butler is the vice captain of the Test team.
So that kind of is a big hint. Although you can argue, that does Johnny Bairstow deserve a chance? Maybe he can come in the middle order. Folks, but I think they'll go with Butler, and then they'll go with a spinner. Then we can come to the Woakes versus Archer discussion.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a selector, I would go with Crawley at 3. Given Denley's pretty old, he's 34 now. He hasn't done much. I mean, even Crawley hasn't done much, but at least he's young, and if you give him time at number 3,
exactly. Yeah, I think he played the South Africa series, right? And then he also got 100 in that one game against in the first class game against Sri Lanka. So he's done something. Although it was 5 months ago, but that's the benchmark that we have right now. So,
and I think the last debate is then
Archer
versus Woakes, and I would go for Archer. For me, it's a new
same definitely, especially with the new laws where you can't shine the ball with saliva. I think that kind of negates the swing bowling option. So you need someone with pure pace. I mean, Broad and Anderson, they don't have the pace anymore. And they are going to be relying a lot on swing. But with the new conditions where you need someone with that X factor, with that pace, which will give Archer the advantage over Woakes.
And Southampton, I think it's a bit of a I remember it as being a bit of a spinner's wicket, especially like days 4, 5. So again, England might benefit from having both Leach and Ali. Maybe I think Moeen Ali's. I remember one Test match against India in Southampton, 2014, where he took 10 wickets in the match.
Well, they've only been 3 games at Southampton, and Moeen Ali is the top wicket taker overall. I mean, 3 is a very small benchmark, and
but still,
if you want to go by those small stats, but I don't think he's done enough to secure place. But you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
So we agree that Leach is going to be the spinner, right? Not Ali.
Yeah, I think Leach will be the spinner. I think he deserves to be in there. Although I would also just add that the poor guy has been, he's had a lot of sickness over the last couple of months, maybe longer, 6 to 8 months, and that could potentially be a factor.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they might then, if they don't play Moeen, then they might then play Bess instead of Leach. But I think they're both at the similar level. Obviously, Bess is a better batsman and a better fielder. So that is in his...
Leach is better at taking singles.
Yes, clearly.
But so I guess our final predicted 11 for England is Sibley, Burns, Crawley, Denley, Stokes, Ollie Pope at 6, Joss Butler 7, Archer 8, Broad 9, Anderson, Leach 10, 11, or the other way.
Either way. Cool. Should we go on to West Indies then?
Yeah.
I think the only few players that are sure to play, is Craig Brathwaite. Obviously.
Yeah, Brathwaite at top. Yeah.
Shai Hope at 3. I think he's pretty
3 or 4 maybe. I think.
Yeah, he normally bats 3, right? Or does he normally bat 4?
No, I think he's moved to 4. He's been a bit of a yo-yo, but now I think recently in the last 2-3 games. So again, 6 months ago he's played at 4 because I think Brooks has been at 3. But let's come back to 3.
Brooks has been at 3. Okay, fine. Roston Chase.
Yeah, again, 5 or 6. Chase
5 or 6. Jason Holder for sure. Shane Dowrich for sure.
Yeah.
I
and
think
then Roach and Gabriel probably.
Roach and Gabriel and Rakeem Cornwall, because Cornwall is the only spinner in the squad.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
Rakeem
And
Cornwall
Royston Chase.
and Austin Chase, yes, but fine. I think Cornwall is going to be their main spinner. Yeah, Roach and Gabriel, and in my opinion, it's a no-brainer for them to play someone like Alzarri Joseph.
Oh yes, for sure. Although this isn't the IPL, but
yeah, I mean it's not the IPL, but I think he's got something about him, and I rate him better than higher than O'Shane Thomas. So I think the bowling lineup is pretty sort. But again, I think like England, they will pick a team with 7 batsmen and 4 bowlers.
Yeah, I think they'll be a bit. I think they'll play it safe as well. But I guess the other complication with West Indies is their most recent Test match was against Afghanistan, which you can argue they were not playing their strongest 11, and obviously, they don't have obviously Bravo and Hetmyer, who would have definitely been starting in this team. So that makes the debate slightly more tricky for them. But we probably have to go with Campbell.
I think Campbell just based on the fact that he's played relatively well over the last, let's say, 2 to 3 months. Even in ODIs and T20s, I think he's been picked now. He's starting to get picked regularly. So I think based on that, it's probably going to be Campbell. And then I think Brooks at 3 seems reasonable. So there's another guy called Joshua Da Silva.
Yeah, he's a keeper. He's a keeper also, no?
Yeah, he's a keeper. And I think he's a top order bat.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think he's a middle order player. Yeah, he's a middle order player
actually. Yeah, so there was talk that Shane Dowrich might not be fit, and in that case, Da Silva might replace him.
Actually, surprisingly, Da Silva is the only. I was checking the in all the practice matches, which surprisingly have been very low scoring, all of them. But we'll come back to that. Da Silva is the only person who's got 100 out of all the games. Yes. So maybe he might be in for a shout, but I think again, he doesn't have any international cricket experience.
Yeah.
And it's the first game after a long time, so they'll probably go with Brooks at 3.
I think Brooks at 3 with Shai Hope at 4, Austin Chase at 5, and then I think 6 is probably where you can have Blackwood.
Yeah. So you probably have
Blackwood at 6. I mean, there's another player called Nkrumah Bona. I haven't Bona. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but I haven't seen much of him. Heard much about him. So I'm not, I'm not sure. I think they'd go with Blackwood at 6.
Yeah, I think 6 is kind of the lottery pick. I think either they go with Blackwood or they can also go with Da Silva at 6. But I think they'll play it safe again. International experience. New game, new conditions. So I think Blackwood might get the nod at 6. And then at 7, that means it's Holder at 7. Dowrich at 7. Yeah, so he's going to be the keeper. Dowrich at 7, Holder at 8, Cornwall 9.
Yeah.
And then 10, 11, you have Roach and Gabriel. But then you don't have Alzarri Joseph. So
you don't. I mean, Alzarri Joseph is only an option to go with if you're playing 5 bowlers.
So for us, I think it's Brathwaite, Campbell, Brooks, Hope, Chase at 5. Blackwood at 6. Dowrich, Holder, Cornwall, Roach, and Gabriel.
Yeah, I think those are 2. I would say those are 2 relatively evenly matched teams.
Yes, yeah. Let's focus on a couple of the key players who we think are gonna be the standouts. So let's pick one each.
I can't really look beyond Shai Hope for West Indies. I think he's an amazing batsman. He's got a lot of time to play his shots. He's done so well over the last year or so. Yeah. But I think that Shai Hope now, will come into his own. So I think for West Indies, for me, it's Shai Hope. What are your thoughts?
For me, it's Roston Chase. I think 2 things. One, obviously, his ability. He's a grafter in the middle order. Especially when the going gets tough.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the olden days, you had someone like a Jimmy Adams who could kind of hold the middle order together. Yeah. So that kind of responsibility. Not saying that he's that level.
Yeah.
And also his bowling. I think that's going to be key because England don't have. A second spinner option with Root out probably. Yeah. So I think having that advantage of a second spinner, I think that will be crucial. So I think Chase from his middle order batting ability and also with the ball will be key to watch.
Sure.
And for England, for me it's Rory Burns. I think if you look at his stats, they're not that good. I mean, he has a mid-30s average. But with Root, I think this is the time for Burns to really step up and show that he deserves that place. He needs to be that one confirmed opener in the team, so he needs to step up. And I'm looking forward to how he performs.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with that. I think he's going to have a tough time facing up to Roach and Holder and Gabriel. So good luck to him. For me, in terms of England, I would imagine that Jofra Archer has got I think he'll have something about him this series, especially since he's playing against the West Indies. He knows a lot of the guys from that team, so I think he's going to have that extra fire. Not that he needs it, but I think he'll be raring to go. And I feel like this is going to be his Test series. I think 3 Test matches, if he manages to play all of them, I'm predicting that he'll be the highest wicket taker on both sides.
If he stays fit.
If he stays fit, exactly. If he manages to stay fit, I'm predicting that if he plays all 3 Test matches, he'll be top.
Yeah. So final verdicts. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with the safe option. I'm going to say it's going to be a draw, 1-1. One by West Indies, one by.
Well, what about the game? What about the game? Let's focus on the match.
So Southampton.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with England.
Okay.
Just because I think they've got, even though Root has dropped out, I still think that they've got 4 or 5 players who've got so much match experience, who've got so much of cricketing knowledge and skill that I feel even if they're operating at 80%, guys like Anderson, Stokes, Broad, even Butler, even if they operate at 80%, I think England will get through the first Test match. I think West Indies have a little bit more to worry about, but I think there's a good chance that West Indies bowling attack has that one Test match in them to absolutely bowl those kind of magic balls that we've come to know from the greats of West Indies. So I think they have that one Test match in them. So I'm going with 1-1.
Okay. For me, it's I think West Indies might they'll probably win the first one.
Going opposite.
And I'll come back to why I think that is. I think England will come back and probably win the series eventually 2-1.
Okay.
But I'm going with West Indies to win the first one, and that's the big factor is Joe Root missing. I think if you look at England's top 4, it is very weak. It's very inexperienced against that bowling attack. I think that one performance, West Indies pace attack performance that you mentioned, that might happen on day one. Against that batting lineup, and with no Root, I think this is the chance for West Indies to really take advantage of it. Yeah. But with Root coming back, I think, and also England will probably have a better understanding of what their best combination is after the first game.
Yeah,
they will come back and take the series. So that's what we think, guys. Let us know what you think. Who do you think should play? What's your opinion? Archer versus Woakes, Cornwall versus Joseph. Who do you think is going to win? West Indies, England. Let us know in the comments. And please subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. Let us know what you think. And thanks for watching.
Please, now it's only the 2 of us, so please subscribe.
Okay, thank you.